Hey, thanks for turning in. This is Joan, and today we're going to look at Activity 4.1.4, Modeling Mechanical Motion, where you are asked to bring in some Vex IQ part model files into Fusion 360 and create this pulley system without the belt, and then animate it to make it move. In a separate video, we'll look at the next part where we bring in two gears, make a little gear train. Same thing, bring them in, animate them so they move. And then in a third video, we will look at a worm gear mechanism and bring all the parts in, apply the joints, and animate the model. So you'll need to download the parts from 4.1.4 at the top and bring them into here. Our final video today will look like this. We'll animate the model, open up the joints, take a look here, and this is the end result. Okay, so let's close this and let's start from where we need to go. So let's say we're in our folder 4.1.4. We want to create a folder right here that says pulley mechanism, and then double click it. And then we want to upload the files right from your computer. You can very easily drag and drop them in from where you downloaded and extracted them. So this is a core training video. I have them in here. Okay, so what I would do is hit upload, drag and drop, and take the files I need. For the pulley, you need a 1x8 beam, and it says it right on the file. 1x8 beam. You need a 4x shaft, 2-inch shaft. It's got 4 openings on it, and you can just bring in one of those and we'll use it twice, so that's here. And then you need the 10mm pulley and a 40mm pulley, which I have right there. So I just put them all in here, shift, and then drag them across, drop them into here. And I'm going to cancel that because I already brought them in, but you can let that upload. Once they're in there, you can work with them, then you can open and work with them. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is create a file just for the pulley after you should see 4 things uploaded there. So I would come over here to an unfiled blank design space and hit the save button. And I'm going to call this pulley number 4. This will be my assembly. Pulley assembly. I'll call this one. Pulley assembly. There you go. Save. And I know that it's in this location because I can see the file path. Hit save. Once it's saved, you can drag files into it. If you had not saved it, it'll give you a warning message saying, hey, save this first. So the first thing I'm going to bring in is this beam. You can drag and drop it, or you can right click, insert into current design, and bring them in there just like that. I'm going to use my mouse wheel to scroll out a little bit. I'm going to leave it right where it is, and I'm going to hit OK. First thing here for this particular part, I'm going to right click on its name. I know that's its name right there. This component, right click and ground it. Excuse me. That will mean that it will stay in place while the other parts will be brought to it as you join in the assembly. So now I want the shaft. I'm going to scroll out a little bit. I'm going to come to the second one, right click, and I can insert into current design. Now your students may want to put this exactly where it goes right now, but we want to just pull it up and out of the way, sort of where it's going to go, but not exactly in there. So click OK. You have 2 choices here. You can bring in another one by right clicking, insert into current design, or you can come up here to move and copy and bring it over to another location. I'll do it the same way so that we are familiar. Insert, and I'm going to drag it over here. There we go. Hit OK. Okay, so now we need to bring in the 2 pulleys. I have a 10mm, right click, insert. If it's rotated in the wrong direction, you just want to go ahead and rotate it using these features here. I'm going to take it off of the beam. So if yours happened to come in and it's in this direction, just bring that up straight and then slide that down. So I sort of have it in an exploded view. I know where it's going to go. Click OK. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. And then one more. Right click, insert. This is the 40mm. And then just use the arrows. Again, if yours is flipped, you want to move it over a little bit. Move this here. Okay, while this is open, there's one thing we want to do here. I'm going to put this sort of in front of us. I'll hit the front view on my view cube. I'm going to close up my data panel so I can get a little closer. You see how that square inside there, it looks like it's pointing up like a diamond. I want to rotate that. I'm going to hit escape. I'm in the rotate view. I want to rotate that so that it is square. And let's use the orbit tool so that it'll fit on here. That's what I'm trying to do, so that same direction. So you can sort of see that it's in there. Okay, you're good. Click escape and okay. Okay, so I escaped out of the orbit tool and I clicked OK to make that go. There you go. Okay, so now we want to start using our joint tool, and we want to bring the shafts inside the beam. Do this by pressing J on your keyboard or coming up to assemble, and then J for joint. Let me close this down the panel. I popped it open. Okay, we want to come over here to motion, and we want to have a, which one do we do first? We'll do the revolute first. So right here, revolute, and we're going to put this shaft inside the beam. So we want it to revolve when it's in there. All right, I got revolute. I'm going to come back to position and pick my components. Come in here a little bit. I want the end of this shaft, and then I want inside of the second opening here. So to see that center pops up. So we can see it's already moving, but let's offset it just a little bit. I think it was 0.75. See what happens if I go negative too far. Yeah, not negative. So 0.75. Actually, I think 1 inch would actually just look nicer. 1.0. Okay. The instructions will tell you to get a little closer, but this looks fine. It views better. So 1 inch offset on Z. And that just means I dragged it this way. And you could do that by dragging or telling it. So see how it changed there. Let me get 1.0. There we go. And then click OK. All right, we're going to do the same thing for the other shaft here, but this is sort of in my way. So let me come over here and just click on the eyeball and hide that. It's still there. It's just hidden. We're going to go to assemble, joints, and we're going to make sure it usually stays in the last one you use. So it's still in the revolute joint. Hit position, and we're going to come out here to the edge. There you go. Let's zoom in so I get a little closer. I'm going to use the pan tool. The pan tool down here lets you move your whole model without disrupting what you're doing. Hit escape to get out of it, and you're still in the command you were using, and that's why I like it. And I think we're supposed to be in the second hole here. Let's get in here, and the same thing, let's offset this by 1 inch. Backspace 1 inch. It could be a different axis, so just take a look and see which way. I have Y up, so mine's Z out, but whichever one you have coming right here, just move it along that axis. And then that's in here. So click OK. Okay, good. So now if we just take a look at joints and we, I think we click on the first one, animate the model, we should see it going and we're good. And then if we try for the second one, let me hit escape on my keyboard, animate the model. Okay, they're both going, hit escape on my keyboard. So now let's take these two pulleys and move them in there. Okay, so same sort of idea. I'm going to move this a little closer with move copy. I'm going to click on this. Oh, I need to switch from bodies to components because this is a component. I'm just going to move it a little closer. Hit OK. Assemble tab, the assemble panel, the joint command. And now we're going to change from motion to rigid because we want it to sit still. Rigid, position, and now I can click. There's two things I need to do here. I need to put this on there. So I'm going to get a little closer. Use my orbit tool to move this. There we go. Hit escape. So I want to be in the center of this. I want to be right here, but I can't get there. So the way to do it is to hold the control key on your keyboard. So hover in here, right here. So not the sides, not inside, but here. Hit control. When you do that, it makes all of them highlight, and then you can actually click this center. So see how that's the center. Click that. There we go. And then we're going to click the edge of this one. If you want to rotate around so you can see it perfectly, you can, but you can click right through the other one. It is perfectly fine. Hit escape, click there. There you go. So now this one we're going to offset by, let me get my home view so I can see a little better. And that's going to be z-axis. I think this one was 75, and I think it was negative. I'm sorry, negative, not 1, negative. Yeah, and let me just look at that from the top. So the instructions say to put it really flush, but I think if we put it here, we can view it better and the students can view it better. So I offset it by 0.75. And I didn't finish it yet. I have to hit OK. Okay, so one more time. We can do it with the larger one. We're going to come back over here and activate it in by turning on the eyeball, make it visible. And I'm going to move it closer. If I can grab it. There we go. Doesn't have to be, but it's just easier to look in the video. Click OK. Assemble tab, joint command, just double checking that it's still in rigid, which is the last thing we use, so we're good. And then the same story we want to get in the center here. So I'm going to move it out a little bit, get a little closer, escape on my keyboard. I use that orbit tool to move around. You just escape to get out of it. And I want that nice round part there. So I'm going to hit Control on my keyboard, and then it stays so I can get in this center hole. That's perfect. So left click that, zoom out, and now I'm actually going to rotate so I can see that. Right there. Come on now. See if I can get it. See that the end of the shaft. Just get closer. It makes it easier. And I think 0.75 looked a little off when I did this. So negative 0.75. And before I click OK, I'm going to come up to my view cube and click the top just so I can see if it's lined up with this guy because we want it to look good. Yeah, that works great. Okay, so hit escape, click OK, click the home. The little house appears when you get closer to your view cube in the top right, and that makes it isometric view. Okay, so now I'm going to come up to here and let's just make sure, oh, we already made sure these are moving. We have one more thing to do. So we're going to make these move at the same time. See how we have that revolution here, the little flag, and the revolution here, this little flag. Let's put them together. So assemble. And let's see, rigid group. Oops, let's see if I can do this in here. Motion link, that's the one I'm looking for. Assemble, motion link. Click on that. And now we have to select them. So we want to select that flag or that blue in there. See? Grab one of those, or you can grab the top of the flag. Either way, you're good. And then get this one over here on the right side. Doesn't get any bigger when you get closer, but helps me see. And then I'm going to move the whole thing up so I can look at it better. Do I like my rotation? Yes, everything looks good. Let me escape on my keyboard. Okay, so there's only one small problem I see here. I'm clicking the front view. I didn't accept this yet. I have it animating. We know that this is 10 millimeters and this is 4 millimeters. It's 40 millimeters, so it's 4 times as big as this one. For every one rotation of this, for every one rotation of the large one, this one should be going 4 times. Right now they appear to be doing the same thing, so let's fix that. The first one we did was the smaller one. That's 360 degrees. So this one, the larger one, if we just do 360, oops, if I can hit it. 360 degrees divided by 4 because it's 4 times as large. See the difference? So 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one went around 1 time for every 4 times that, just to make it more realistic, and that's what we're trying to teach our students. So you can take a look at that, hit escape, and then click OK when you're okay with that. Put it in the isometric view by hitting the home button, and if you want to demonstrate this for your class, go to motion link and, nope, maybe it's higher. Come up to one of the revolutions and animate the model, and everything should go. And that's a nice speed. There you go. Make sure you save your work as you go. Screws are saved. Hit the save button. If you look in your data panel, you will see where you created your pulley assembly number 1. Good work. Thanks for watching.